Paul, I have to ask you as a director and as a guy who's a writer too. If you were
You're not a writer.
No,
or
Paul,
a guy. Okay.
Paul is a writer.
All right.
If you were making a film, right, and some kid who's got one line in the say a comedian has one line in the film. He's one.
Yeah.
And right before you start filming, he approaches you, and he's rewritten the entire script to create himself as a co-star. And he goes, "Hey, Paul, I just had a couple ideas. Why don't you let me know what you think of this? I rewrote it."
It's happened.
It has happened.
Have you had anybody do that?
Oh, yeah.
How do you handle that?
Well, usually with brutal honesty, and occasionally profanity.
Good.
But the other thing happens, too, which is you have, a day player with one or two lines, and you pull them aside earlier in the day and say, hey, there's not much here. You two guys, you're playing cops. You want to work out something together and show it to me. I'd be, maybe we can make it more interesting.
Yeah. See, because Colin Quinn, I don't know if you guys know Colin Quinn.
I don't know if you guys remember Crocodile Dundee 2. But I was in Crocodile Dundee 2. I had a line. So I took the script, I read it, found it a little wanting. So I rewrote, I cut out Charles Dutton. I made myself the co-star with Paul Hogan. It's like 1987, whatever. And then I handed it in. I had one line. I handed it in to the director and the producer and waited for their response. I literally sat there and made it more of like a New York type thing with me and Paul Hogan running around because the plot was New York.
He's realized what a horse's ass he is.
And they just kind of, they were Australians. They were like, don't worry about it. And I was like, they're
No
lost.
worries, mate.
And then when I saw the movie, I was like, look at these guys. They blew it. Like they could have done my version.
Do you think that was rude of them not to get back to him, though, to at least give an opinion on how it was?
I think it was very gracious of them to even accept it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I would have definitely fired me in retrospect at the time.
What would you have done? Like, if you found out that you were on a movie set with somebody of the audacity of a young Colin Quinn to do something like that, do you just not want to deal with him?
Yeah, I wouldn't deal with it.
Well, especially if you were the guy.
Let him do what he wants.
It's creepy, yeah.
Especially if you were the guy he tried to
Let
write
him
out of the
punch
script.
himself out.
But and my poor girlfriend typing it away. I'm like, so give it another line. So I didn't even type it myself.
I'm into rope-a-dope.
You are.
Yeah.
Just let him make the mistakes. Keep going, and then eventually he'll just be out of your life. That makes sense.